Hey guys, it's Sierra from the future. If you're watching this video, this is kind of just me doing a little intro before I get started into the little clip. If you've read the title, you probably know that I failed GKS Scholar 2024. The video is going to show in the beginning of my process of trying for the scholarship and everything that I did. I wasn't taking videos the entire time, but I took videos mainly in the middle and towards the end. The end of this video is going to show you kind of explaining why I failed and all of those different stuff, but I hope you enjoy. Okay, so just ignore the cat. She will go away, I promise. Also, ignore my bad handwriting, but I actually first started out by writing down a list of things, all the things I needed to do. So like I talked about how I needed to get a letter of recommendation, just all the things that were required. I wrote down requirements, and then everything I highlighted were the things I actually needed to do. These are just the things I wanted to do. You probably can't read it, and that's because I'm going through kind of quick because I don't want you to read my bad handwriting. And then I did good things to have. So this was like language test requirements, like stuff that I would need to look into. Like if I did get the scholarship, like how much an apartment would be. Am I going to live in the dorms? Blah, blah, blah. Just stuff like that. Then I was narrowing down the colleges. So this was all in October of like 2023, right? It was more like October. I think it was October 20 something that I found out about the GKS scholarship. So I found out kind of late. Some people find out a lot earlier. I wish I had, but it is what it is. So I really wanted to go to Yonsei University. So I'm just kind of showing you guys, like, this was all the work that I put into it. So I really wanted to go to Yonsei University. Wrote down the things that you needed to know. So like I needed a TOPIK level 3 to get into the school, or at least the major I wanted. I emailed them and asked them for more questions. Every university I wanted to go to, I emailed them what they require specifically, if they required anything specifically, just more information on like the departments, anything I wanted to know, I emailed them on. So I asked them questions about like their dorm and stuff like that too, and like what their Korean language program was like, and then how much money it would be, and blah, 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 just stuff like that. Then I wanted to apply to Sogong University for a bit, but I ended up changing my mind. And I ended up actually not going with Sogong, even though I did all of this research on it. I ended up deciding that I really liked Korea University, because you can only pick 2 A schools. And so I decided that I really, really liked Korea University because I listened to their language program, and like a lot of like people give reviews on it. And so this is my information on Korea University, so you can tell I really liked it. I think one of the things I like the most is that they do Korean language and literature, which is what I wanted to get my master's in. Like Korean linguistics, Korean language and culture education, Korean literature, like they have lists of subsets, and I really, really liked that too. So that's why I did so much research on that. And then for my B school, I just felt more comfortable going to Busan because in my study abroad, I spent weekend in Busan. So I was like, if I'm gonna have to go somewhere outside of Seoul, I would be more comfortable actually in the Gyeonggi-do area or the Gumpo area, because that's where my college was at the study abroad, but like they didn't have a school there. So like the other ones were like in Busan. And so I was like, okay, well I kind of know that place, so I'd feel more comfortable there. So I ended up going with the Busan University Foreign Students. They're the one that has the Korean PhD in translating and interpreting. So I was kind of like, okay, if I end up getting my master's there, then I can just go get my PhD there too, and I'll be comfortable. But let me tell you, all of the B schools were really confusing. Their websites are all in Korean, and like some of them will translate, but you're really digging for information, right? So then these are me writing down more B schools, more like possible candidates. I looked into Chonbuk, Hoseo University. They were Christian, so I was kind of interested in that, but then they have a lot of restrictions and rules, and I don't know if those restrictions and rules apply to like grad school students, but they were kind of scaring me a little with some of them. Like they said you had to be back in by 7 p.m. and I was like, if I'm not back in by like 7 p.m. am I gonna get in trouble? So I don't know how I felt about that one. And then I also applied to Wonju, but then like these are the 2 schools. So this is Hoso and this is Wonju. Like I did information on both of them. And again, I have a list here of all of the ones I emailed and if they emailed me back. And that was all the prior research I did to kind of pick the colleges. And then I also watched a lot of videos to like get me like a good headspace of like what each college has to offer, because you really have to do research on your department and what you want to do. So really my heart is in going to Korea University, but like if I ended up at Yonsei University, or even if I ended up at the Busan University Foreign Students. Either one of those would have fit my bill. I don't know. I'm a little hesitant on the B school, not because it's not in Seoul. Like, I'm not one of those people that's like, oh my God, I have to be in Seoul, South Korea. No, it was more like the websites for all of them were really confusing. I emailed them and they didn't email me back. And so it's like, I don't know. It just was giving me kind of iffy vibes for all the other ones except for that one. So I just felt really uncomfortable with them. And those were the three that I felt most comfortable with. So that was why I picked these three. On to the rest of the video where you get to see my preparation for the scholarship.
Hey, so this is me, voiceover Sierra, just giving you a little bit of context. This is me working on my personal statement and study plan back in February, which is actually really late. The timeline to turn everything in for graduate school is between February 14th and March 6th, so it's a full month, but don't procrastinate like me. If you learned anything from me in this moment, start now. Don't wait. Start now. Anyway, I definitely worked on my study plan more than I did my personal statement in the beginning because it's easier for me to talk about how hard I want to study than it is for me to talk about how great I am. This is my plane ticket when I flew to Oklahoma to get my documents apostilled. So this is just me showing you that I flew on this date. I also got a security check, which was really stressful because I was running late to the airport. This is me leaving the Bahamas. The next couple of photos slash clips will be a little chaotic because I didn't film as much in Oklahoma, but yeah, this is me saying goodbye. Bye home. Okay, so we jumped a couple of days. It went from February 18th, which was my flight date, to February 23rd, and here I am in the library with my best friend Destin, finishing up my personal statement. I really struggled with my personal statement, like a lot. I also brought my laptop but forgot my charger. So I was using pretty much everybody I know's laptops. This is now February 26th. I'm going to Oklahoma City to get my stuff apostilled, which was not hard. It was actually really quick, really easy, really good procedure when I went to do it in February. I didn't know it was going to be easy, so I was super stressed on the drive there because it was like an hour drive from Tulsa to Oklahoma City, something like that. But yeah, this is me in a cafe on campus, still working on my personal statement because I think I finished my study plan by now. And I just finished getting the letter from my professor. So I was like, you know what? Let me finish working on my stuff to kind of get it done ASAP because I was running out of time. So here's me on February 29th. Taking a flight to Miami where my sister is because I was gonna collect all the documents there, print it all out because I had most of it with me, and we had all decided that it would be quicker and cheaper to ship it from America than to fly home and ship it from home. It wasn't going to make it in time for March 6th. So, yeah, we were really on a time crunch. It was really stressful. This is me and my sister. She picked me up from the airport. Love her so much. Even though she low key kind of stressed me out. Yes, that is me pointing at my sister. She knocked out and I stole her laptop and I worked on it some more for a very long time. Also, I just got press on nails because I was like, if I'm gonna be stressed out, I might as well be cute while I'm stressed out. Bad idea. I don't recommend. As you can see, Sierra is complaining because it's too long. So it was hard for me to type. But it did match the jewelry, so style points, I think. Or something like that. Track break. My family is a big track family. Here you can see Sasha is reading
Smile.
over my personal statement and study plan to kind of help me get an idea of what I'm doing. And this is later tonight. I am labeling everything. I'm trying to go through these kind of quickly because it's really late at night, but I'm also trying to show you guys how I did it at the same time. So the videos might be a little sped up. I think I'm telling you right now that it's 2 a.m. I started at 12 and I believe I didn't finish until like 3:30. But this is the most, I would say, the most challenging part of this whole thing. Wasn't even collecting the documents, which I thought was the hardest part. No, it's right here where you have to label everything. So I bought a bunch of paper labels. I think I bought like a pack of 50. And I also bought some clips to clip everything together because I did end up going the embassy route. So that's why I think this was so difficult is you really do have to fill out everything so many times that it gets so monotonous, but you can't let it get like that because you also have to make sure that you're still checking everything and making sure that everything is 100%. Yeah, here I'm showing you that I use the metal clips to clip everything together. I think there's gonna be a little video that's gonna oh, oof, eesh, that's my photo I'm showing you because I thought it was funny. Um, it was not a good photo of me. Anyways, here I sped it up because it was just taking forever. I'm still signing everything. There's a part where you have to check your health because they want your health. So I had to like check all of those and make sure I did that right. I was also just kind of reading over everything just to make sure that it's all right because again, if it's not right, they will disregard your application. So here's me showing you that I put the study plan on the wrong paper and it made me really sad because then I had to tear it off and redo it and it just looked unprofessional after that, so it really made me kind of mad. So again, double check, triple check everything as you're going through this. Have some people help you if you can. I did this the day before late at night, so I was all on my own just trying to make sure that everything's right. I had application form, the personal statement and study plan, then I had my 4 letters of recommendation, and then I had the GKS application agreement, and then the personal medical assessment, and then obviously my transcript and my graduation certificate. Here, I'm going to show you in this clip how I put it all together. So that's the forms, all of them in order, even though it's a little crazy and sped up. I mean, pause it if you need to prove that I was related to my parents. I took a copy of their passports and then a copy of my passport and birth certificate, kind of just to prove that the names are all the same. We look alike, so they're my family. And then this is me showing you the bougie certificates I got from Oklahoma and my transcript and everything. Yeah. So I had it in that exact order in the packet, ready to be sent off, everything labeled, all done. So this is me on the way to FedEx. I basically shipped it off to the Dominican Republic, which is the closest Korean embassy to me in the Bahamas, and yeah, just prayed and sent it off. This is me on the way home, so this is going to be the end of Voiceover Sierra. That is basically all I honestly had to say about the trip. I have to film this because it's literally been consuming me for like the past 3-4 days. So I realized the time like totally got away from me, and it's currently like what, March 10th? My due date was March 6th to turn everything in. I did turn it in on time and it did make it there on March 5th, but now every day since then I've just been thinking about how I didn't triple check everything to make sure I signed everything. I feel like I would have, but just like I have this overwhelming feeling that like I did one thing wrong and I'm not gonna get an email on the 14th. And it's really stressing me out because it's like I spent so much time and so much money that wasn't even my own. If it doesn't go through, then it's my fault because I didn't triple, quadruple check, and maybe I didn't do something right. Like, I just stress. So there's that. So this is me hoping to future Sierra that we got an interview email. Sorrows, prayers. Back in the bathroom again. I'm not gonna cry while I do this because it is sad, but part of it is also okay. As soon as I got the email, I kind of knew. I don't know why, I just stopped, I took a deep breath. I'll just read it and then I'll know, right? We're supposed to find out tomorrow. And so the email basically said, kind regards, but your documents were not approved. Basically just like your typical business email. Like basically we didn't accept you, but we hope any other things we have together will be like kind regards or whatever. I guess from my previous clip, I kind of knew. I feel like I messed up on the photos. I don't think they were the right size, so I didn't get accepted. I don't know if you can tell, but I started crying. And like it's still sad, and I mean it still hurts because I feel like I don't have a plan B, which I know I didn't have one, but it's like this was gonna be the best thing that could have happened for me because like my family's not exactly great financially, and like I don't really have a job and I don't really have like much going for me at the moment. Like, yeah, I got a bachelor's degree, woo, but like I can't even get a job in it. And it's like, I feel like my parents spent so much money and time on this for me, just for me not to make it is, I think, what makes me the most sad. I'm trying not to cry again. But how am I supposed to tell them that I didn't make it? I feel like I've cried enough. I told my family and I told some friends. And it's like, oh, I tell these people that believed in me and we're like, yeah, of course you're gonna make it. That I didn't even make it through the first round. Like I didn't even get an interview, just an email. I know that if I didn't get this opportunity, then it must just mean that there's something better out there, or that it wasn't meant to be this year. I'm a Christian and I prayed about it. Whatever he's doing, he's working out for his good. I just need to figure out, I guess, what I'm supposed to do next. I don't know. I feel kind of lost now, which I mean, I was kind of lost before, but no, I definitely feel like more of a bump on a log and less of someone with an idea. I just kind of feel like
I'm kind of tempted to email them back because it's not really their job to be like, oh my god, this is what you did wrong. But I think the not knowing is what makes it harder, because it's like I could apply next year. That's a whole year away. I could apply next year and still like do whatever it is that I did wrong and not get in again. The Bahamas doesn't offer undergraduate, so even if I wanted to do that in this September, I need to wait again for next February, so I have to wait a whole year. And it is sad, and it is okay to cry and feel those emotions. It's not fun. Hey, it's been a week. I thought I would do a little end video / update, because at first I was like, scratch everything. I'm just not gonna post my failure, blah 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 blah, because I was trying to Google and like see other people who like maybe haven't got in, and you know, just to kind of feel like a camaraderie. Why can't I speak? What's the word? Camaraderie. You know what I mean? Like to feel like some sort of like you're not alone in like failing, right? And I found like maybe 2, but most of them were like people who are like, I failed in 2020, but here I like succeeded in 2023, or like I failed last year, but I succeeded this year. I feel like it would be good and beneficial for some other people who maybe failed 2024 to see that they're not alone. And I was also thinking that maybe I would read you guys the email I received for my failure, kind of give you a little bit of a background. So I'm gonna do this really quick because I don't want the video to be too long and too boring. This is the email I received from the Dominican Republic. It says, kind regards. From the Korean Embassy, we inform you that the GKS documents that you have presented were not approved. We are very sorry, but we greatly appreciate your effort and intention and hope to meet you again at any other opportunity. Sincerely, and then it's like stuff in Korean, but it's basically just saying thank you and then the person's name. And then some stuff in Spanish at the bottom because it's the Dominican Republic. Upon receiving that, I did cry. From reading kind regards, I kind of knew I didn't get in. I talked to this about my mom too, but like the whole week leading up, I had really felt like, oh my gosh, if I don't get this, what am I gonna do? I kept getting this feeling, and I honestly don't know how to explain it. But it's just like I knew that I wasn't gonna get in. I truly believe that it was God preparing me for the rejection, because I think it would have hurt a lot worse if I hadn't already been like semi-preparing to be like rejected. And so when I read it, it hurt. I cried. I was kind of upset because it says like the documents you have presented were not approved. I'm Bahamian, so I live in the Bahamas, and I went to college in America, so I had to go back to America to get all that stuff done. I had to go back to America to get the letter of recommendation from my advisor. But people who I really trusted, I told about this process, and I told them how excited I was for it. And now it's like I failed my family for spending all that money on me. I feel like in that moment I felt like I failed everybody because I messed up. So then I sent them an email back, because not to be like rude or anything, but I just kind of wanted to know what I did wrong so that in the future I can know what to do better, right? I just said, hello and kind regards from Sierra Wells, a Bahamas GKS applicant of 2024. I said, thank you for reading through my application and for your consideration. I have some questions regarding my application and the process of why my documents were denied. I got an email from the embassy yesterday saying that my documents were not accepted, and I was confused because I believed that I followed everything from the embassy's page. But I said, I sent the package in this order with everything labeled as shown below. My application form, personal statement, study plan, letter of recommendation, the application agreement, the personal medical assessment, consent to use forms, then my diploma, my transcript, my proof of citizenship, which was my passport and my birth certificate, and then my parents' proof of citizenship, which was their passports that had been stamped, not apostilled, but notarized. I had a hard time with what to do because I got my bachelor's degree in transcript in another country, so I got them apostilled in that country, and I got my birth certificate to show that my parents aren't Korean because I was born in America. So while I am Bahamian, I do have dual citizenship because I was born in America, and my mom's American and my dad's Bahamian, but like I've lived my whole life here. I know I don't sound like I have an accent, so if you're watching this and you're like, girl, you don't sound like you have an accent, I know. I was homeschooled. That's a whole other story for another day. If you want to know, let me know and I'll tell you about it. Basically, I said that I have dual citizenship. I explained that, and I said I hope there was not any confusion because I sent those in kind of all over the place. I said, again, I thank you for looking over my documents and the time you spent on it. I'm just wondering what I failed this year so that I can improve when I'm applying next year. And then I said, please get back to me at your earliest convenience. And then I always end my stuff with blessings, Sierra Wells. Here is their response to me. And after I got this email, I also cried, but not because of what they said, but because of I realized my own failure was something so simple that I could have fixed. It said, Dear Seren, which is my middle name, so they probably think that my middle name is my last name. I don't know. Thank you for your email. First, thank you for your interest in the GKS scholarship program in our country, Korea. Also, thank you for your hard work in getting an apostille from the USA due to your university documents. There is no problem with the documents you submitted. Everything was well prepared. However, After reading your personal statement and the study plan, we perceived that the contents were very general and not too clear the goals you could achieve if you graduate the master's degree in Korea through the scholarship. I recommend you to specify what you would like to achieve and contribute to Korea and the Bahamas. The objective of a GKS scholar is to develop students who can contribute to both countries through acknowledgments acquired in Korea. There are no problems with the document preparation, so don't worry about it. I can read you guys my personal statement and study plan so that you guys can see where I failed, so you can figure out where you can improve next time. The main gist of it was that I received was that I had been working on them throughout the months, but I hadn't been dedicating a lot of like my heart and my time and my thoughts into them. They are the most important thing. And I knew that too because I didn't have a lot of certificates to send in. So I knew my personal statement and study plan had to be good. I wasn't confident in myself. And I feel like this experience has made me more confident and passionate about the things that I do want to achieve. I didn't mention how I want to get my PhD in Korea in translating and interpreting. I saw that one of the schools in Busan offers that. So after I get my master's, I do think I can do that. I feel confident in it, but I didn't want to mention it in case like I'm not good enough. And realizing that could have been the thing that could have changed the situation made me realize that I just need to be more confident in who I am and my capabilities. I also didn't mention how I live in the Bahamas. I could come back to UB. Maybe I could try to teach here, like languages. I know Chinese, Mandarin. That was my bachelor's degree. I would obviously at that point speak really good Korean. Maybe I could even teach translating and interpreting classes. Like I can be a teacher. I've never been confident in myself in teaching. If I had that confidence, I truly believe I can do it. I feel like I touched on all of these things a little bit, but I never like went in depth. I was scared to talk about like the advantages I have in life because I never wanted to seem like, I'm so good, I'm so great. Thought of ever being that type of person, but like the point of a scholarship is to sell yourself. You have to be that type of person. I was scared, and so that is why I failed. Upon reading the email and reading back my personal statement and study plan, I believe that the reason I did not get in to the GKS scholarship program was because I was scared in talking good about myself and just bragging about myself, and I wasn't confident in the things I have achieved and in the things I will achieve in the future. So all that to say, this is a minor setback. I do have to wait a whole year before I can apply again, but at the same time, it's also not a setback. It's a time for growth. My goal this year, I'm going to do my best to better my Korean learning, work on my personal statement and study plan now. I'm going to try to find like volunteering programs and things to do, but I'm also working on my mind, my mental health, my physical health, my spiritual health, really trying to just better myself in a year so that like when I do go into this next year, I'm ready. And of course I would love to go to like Korea in the summer and like maybe do like a language program one semester because I've done one previously, but that's also really expensive, so I don't know. It is very sad. If you were like me and you have failed, it is okay to cry and it's okay to feel like I failed. What do I do now? Because I'm currently in that where I'm like, this was what I put like so much of my hopes and my dreams and my heart into, and to feel that sadness for a bit. Don't let it hold you down for too long. I let it hold me down for a week, and I didn't even cry the whole week. I just let myself sit in this. It's okay that you didn't make it. But I truly believe that this is just another blessing in disguise. At the moment, I'm just at home helping my mom with the siblings because she's homeschooling, and so that's like the best I can give. Maybe I'll get a job. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll go back to America and get a job. Let me know down in the comments below if you want me to read my study plan and personal statement so you can kind of see where I went wrong. I'm thinking about uploading some vlogs I took back in 2022 when I did a study abroad in Korea for a semester. I'm kind of started working on those a bit. But yeah, this video has been long enough and sad enough. I just wanted to end it on a happy note. If we failed, we can always make it again. Anyway, that's all I had to say, and I hope you actually got something out of this. I hope it was encouraging in some ways. I hope we all learned something new. So I'm taking it as it is, and I'm happy. Bye guys, thank you for watching my video.